Two young Israeli embassy staffers murdered by an anti-Israel man yelling a chant heard for years now on liberal college campuses and streets of major cities. Free, free Palestine. Also, there is only one solution, Intifada revolution.
Recently, two Israeli diplomatic employees in Washington, Yaron Leshinsky and Sarah Milgram, were shot. Apparently, the killer, Elias Rodriguez, emptied his handgun and fired off 21 rounds, killed them almost instantly, and then ran into the museum where they were working and started to act as if he was a victim until he shouted out, "Free Palestine." It becomes permissible to say, globalize the Intifada, river to the sea, the eliminationist rhetoric about Israel, storm a library, chase Jews into a library, damage a president's office, rough up a Jewish kid on campus. It was all acceptable. There were no consequences. We're talking about two nexuses that come together and promulgate anti-Semitism. The one is wealthy people in the universities, many of them DEI, but not all, who feel that it's either in vogue or as DEI people they cannot be criticized.
Victor Davis Hanson and Megyn Kelly expose a chilling truth. DEI's protective shield lets campus hate speech thrive, fueling DC's tragedy. Why do universities silence opposition but excuse violence? Why is this happening? And who's to blame? Let's find out.
Rodriguez then calmly walked back inside the museum. And in the chaos of the scene, people initially thought he was a victim. One witness saying the shooter said, "I did it. I did it for Gaza. Free, free Palestine."
Why was Rodriguez so bold? DEI's victimhood hierarchy shields activists like him, calling hate speech activism. When universities normalize Intifada chants, how close are we to more violence?
As DEI people, they cannot be criticized as victims for victimizing others. Meeting foreign students from the Middle East, and in that cauldron, it becomes permissible to say, globalize the Intifada. So Mr. Rodriguez thought, if I use violence, in this case, bring a gun into Washington, D.C. from my home in Chicago, and I have good, firm left-wing credentials. His father was asked to be a guest at the Trump speaker by a left-wing Congressman Garcia from Illinois. So he comes in, and he knows that if he shoots and murders someone, there's going to be a lot of people who will praise him, or at least excuse what he did.
Another eyewitness to the shooting went on to describe what he saw. And he had a blunt take on the shooting and how it ties into what we've seen on so many of these college campuses. And would you just watch the anchor revolt? You can see she's very uncomfortable with him making this tie. What a shock.
Kelly's right. Media won't connect the dots. Campus mobs chant revolution. But when violence strikes, they dodge blame. Meanwhile, conservatives and pro-Israel students face censorship for speaking out. Why the double standard?
There were no consequences. That's why those three college presidents either were fired or had to resign. So what we're seeing is that the unhinged come out of the woodwork because the general climate rewards that type of behavior. This is going to continue until somebody says we're not going to put up with it anymore. You're not going to be a foreign student and come over to the United States on a student visa and spout hateful rhetoric and torment Jews and make it uncomfortable. And you're not going to be one of these elite students who crashes into the president's office at Stanford or crashes into a building at Columbia and thinks there's no consequences.
Hanson's warning is clear. DEI has turned campuses into chaos zones where violence is excused and truth is the enemy. From murdered diplomats to silenced students, this culture threatens us all unless we stop it.
It's exactly the same rhetoric. And, Jewish people are getting a little sick of college campuses allowing these people to run around calling for their murder. It's kind of upsetting. But she recoils at him making the connection. Fuck off. I'm sorry. That's so fucking annoying.
Hanson and Kelly have connected the dots the media refuses to acknowledge. DEI's double standards normalize hate and violence, from campus chants to deadly shots. Until institutions abandon this toxic standard and face the consequences of their complicity, more innocent lives will be lost to the hatred they've helped normalize. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so more people see it. And if you want more sharp takes on global power plays, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.